Part 1. The Birth of Rasta. Percy. My father never talked much about his past. He would talk about New York or Africa or France, and we never doubted that he knew all those places. But he never revealed much about his personal life there. We did not ask either. I was a child, and there was too much happening in my life. In recent years, however, my memories have started haunting me, and coupled with the research I have done, facts are beginning to emerge. Leonard Percival Howell was born on June 16, 1898, in the remote village of Redlands in the parish of Clarendon, Jamaica, then a British colony. He was the first child of Charles Theophilus and Clementina Howell, a peasant family of some means. At the end of his life, through hard work and sober living, Charles Howell had acquired numerous acres of land and was a respected elder of the local church. I have personally researched the Howell family lineage back to our great-great-great-grandfather, Richard Howell, and his wife Sarah Howell, who was born in 1794 and died on October 13, 1894. I am of the fifth generation of Jamaican Howells. My grandparents on both sides of my family worked hard to acquire sizable plots of land for their children to inherit. Alas, that wasn't to be for my parents or for us, their legacy. Growing up, my siblings and I called my father Dada, but in his own youth, he was known as Percy, an abbreviation of his middle name. When Dada became a thought leader, his followers and the people at Pinnacle called him Counselor, Prince Regent, or simply Mr. Howell. Later, people outside of Pinnacle would refer to him as Gang, which was short for his pen name, Gangan Guru Maharaj, or Gigi Maharaj. But no one at Pinnacle ever called or referred to him in that way. For reasons one can only guess at, Mortimer Plano, an intelligent Rasta leader and Bob Marley's mentor, later took to calling the singer Little Gang. People say that is why Bob named his record company Tough Gang. But when you hear someone refer to my father as Gang, you know that this person is not a Howellite. My father's childhood nickname, Percy, was first published in the Jamaican press in 1915 in a controversial investigation, the Rodney case. A murder had taken place in Redlands, next door to Dada's childhood home. The victim was a neighbor, and the police suspected one of my father's relatives, Edward Rodney, of committing the crime. Dada had seen Rodney going into the lady's house on that same afternoon, and although he was a teenager, the police detained and interrogated him for 3 days in the local jail. They wanted him to testify against his relative, but the family did not agree with the mandate. Yet in the end, Dada had no choice but to appear in court. Rodney had an excellent attorney, J.A.G. Smith, the lawyer of the poor, who was the first black attorney in Jamaica, and who also happened to come from the same region. Under Smith's guidance, my father gave a very prudent and straightforward testimony. He was introduced as a 14-year-old boy. He had just turned 17, but his self-assurance impressed the crowd and drew a smile from the judge. Edward Rodney was found guilty and condemned to death, but J.A.G. Smith, thanks to the circumstantial nature of the evidence given by the boy, was able to appeal to the Privy Council in London, and the sentence was reversed. Rodney was eventually released, though when he came out of jail, he was bitter and angry. He threatened people, and his primary target was Percy, who lived next door. Rodney's aggressive attitude soon brought him before the court again. Something ugly was bound to happen, so my grandmother decided that the boy had better leave. At the age of 19, my father went into exile, leaving Jamaica, its beautiful hills, and its brutal police. We seldom went to the parish of Clarendon, and I do not know much about my father's time living there. I do remember going there on a couple of occasions when I was very young, maybe 5 years old. What sticks in my mind is that we took the train, a dramatic event for me. It was the first time I had taken this fancy locomotive with gas lights. We got off at Maypen and caught a taxi from there. You could not drive up to the house my father had inhabited, so we had to walk up a steep, steep hill. When my father left Jamaica at the end of 1917, World War I was in full swing. It is believed that, like thousands of men in Jamaica and other British territories, Dada enrolled in some service to help his mother country, England, fight the evil Germans for the freedom of the world, as all Jamaicans were supposed to believe. He often told the stories of the slaughter, of the terrible experiences these black soldiers endured in World War I, especially South Africans who were not